Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and I'm taking part in the Skulls 2024 tournament here. As you can see on the first tournament, really everybody was playing Blood Angels almost exclusively, and I do think that's an effective build. But on this tournament, instead of trying to just go for the maximum amount of win that I can do, I'd like to play with some other factions just to see. So I think I'll play with Tau and Necrons. Now I'm not sure if I'll do that for every matchup here, but I don't want it to just be a repeat of the same builds over and over and over again, because if you guys want to see how to use the Blood Angels during a tournament, definitely look at the Tournament 1 matches, because that was almost Blood Angels exclusive. So we are going to be playing the Imperial Ruins here. It is a strategic command objective, 2,000 points, 80-point target, 8-turn limit. As I said, I'm going to be playing the Necrons on this match, and it looks like we're going to be playing a match against Nindo, I think is how you say it, and he's going to be playing as the Tau. So I will upload the tournament match here once the tournament is done. That way other players can't see what my force selections are to be able to counter and see how I play. So by the time this is uploaded, the tournament will probably be completed. But if you're enjoying these videos, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content for you. So we've got our forces here. I've got our Overlord. I'm going to do 2 Plasmamancers because I think I have enough cover that I should be able to nuke them. I have my Immortals with my Gauss Blaster because I do like using the Gauss Blaster against the Tau. And then I've got the Triarch Praetorians to try to do some jumping, to cover distance, the Heavy Destroyers to be able to snipe any stealth suits, Ghost Keels, as I've been informed is how you say it. Keel like a ship. Thank you for whoever recommended that's how you pronounce it, because I am not familiar with Tau forces at all. And then I ended up having just a single Scarab. Now I wasn't sure if the Scarab was going to be able to cover this distance, because it's kind of weird, like some hover units can get up there and not have issues and other ones can't, so I don't know what is the explanation for some of those inconsistencies. I've got my 2 Triarch Praetorians kind of moving as a group along the sides. I'm going to move my Overlord over here to try to boost their movement, so that way I can get these guys to solidify this side position. And then I'm going to use him to use the Veil of Darkness, and that will allow me to get back to this area here. And that will then give me the increased movement bonuses for all of my infantry and Locust Heavy Destroyers. So that way, hopefully the following turn, I can get up and start securing the top before all of his units get into get there first and can get a bunch of Overwatch into me. And then we'll use the Scarabs back here just to body block in case he ends up wanting to do Crisis Suit summons late game. You can see he's moving around. It's 5 to 5. So we've got these guys here. We don't even see his forces yet. Okay, so he's going with a Pariah. They can be problematic to deal with, for sure. It looks like he does have the Fusion Blaster variant, but luckily for us that means that he's not really going to be able to get the kill and take this point from us unless he's got other reinforcements to reinforce, which I'm not really seeing. I mean, he's got his Ethereal here, so we just got to make sure that he doesn't get a charge attack off into our guys, because that definitely could mess us up a little bit. And then we'll come up here. Hopefully he won't... Okay, he doesn't have any forces over here really that we can see yet. So we'll body block here. Hopefully he sends another single Pariah up to take that as well, because again, the Fusion Blaster may be able to one-shot one of our models, but there's 5 of them per squad with the possibility of resurrection. So we should be able to counter that pretty effectively. Now, I'm going to just use the Immortals up top here. Try to use them to soak up any shots. I don't want him to one-shot my Locust Heavy Destroyers here. Given that he's got the Ethereal over here with some strike teams, I wonder if it wouldn't make sense for me to send the Locust on the other side there to try to snipe that Ethereal down, especially if he does try to engage these forces on the right side. Maybe I could use double ones over there, but I think I'd rather have my Immortals pushing up the center here. And then if he charges everybody up, perhaps my Plasmamancers can get there. I think I want to reinforce this right side. It's like I can protect this command point here, which is good. Everybody should be able to get partial in case he runs his stealth suits up there, assuming he has those.
We serve the Triarch. The sound of our guns will herald their death.
It's like part of me wants to keep advancing you over here, assuming he's going to have a pariah on the left as well. These Locust Heavy Destroyers, you know, with 1 or 2 attacks, assuming they hit, should allow us to destroy that, especially with the Triarchs reinforcing it. And then again, I just want to space him in a way in case he's got crisis suits that are going to jump in here with their flamers, that they can't both double flame our Triarchs. But I was thinking keep them in cover, but at the same time I need to keep them in the open so we can get any sort of reaction fire if they do advance on us. The other thing is I want to keep these guys protected from Pathfinders, because they can easily snipe down our Locust Heavy Destroyers here. Unfortunately, I got to have them somewhat elevated on the stairs here in order for them to get attacks, but that also leaves them vulnerable to getting attacked themselves.
Acknowledged.
I was kind of hoping they would have some partial coverage to that corner there in case the Ethereal charged in, but that is not the case.
An endless march.
I'll move you up 1. That'll get some ranged armor defense to everybody. I don't want to put him on the stairs because, again, I don't want him to get sniped, because in case he has the broadsides with the cadres, he can give a 100% chance to hit, and potentially he could snipe my Overlord. Now, he should hypothetically be safe on the stairs because he shouldn't have been able to cross that much distance yet, but I think I just err on the side of caution there. Kind of like the thought of having a Plasmamancer around the side here, because he has partial cover. Then he can kind of bop around the corner here and then potentially nuke somebody. So let's do that. Alright, so he is having crisis suits reinforcement. He's shooting into those guys. Thankfully, the walls are acting as obstacles to the rocket, so it blew up a bunch of them. Oh, what are you doing, buddy? You do not want to charge in here with your commander like that. Oh my god, he just gave me 120 damage for free for his commander, and I think he's going to be trapped there. And it's his HQ unit. Oh no. That was a disaster. Oh, I gotta take that from him immediately. Alright, so he must be doing a crisis suit build, I'm guessing, because he's nuking me from range here.
Hostile detected.
Alright, what's he got? He's got fire squads with the pulse rifles.
Hostile detected.
He's got guys moving along the side here. That was either ethereal buffs or cadres over there. I'm not sure which. I couldn't see. Okay, he does have another pariah over here. He's using the fusion cannon. Killed one of the models. Unfortunately, he didn't resurrect. I think he's going to be in enough cover that I'm not going to be able to snipe him, but I'd rather use those Locust Heavy Destroyers to take out this commander if I can.
Artillery.
Alright, I think you guys have recharged, so I could probably just jump you and get rear attacks now. Ooh. He's got Pathfinders there. Alright. I guess in retrospect I should have jumped the other guys first so they could have got rear attacks, and then I could have followed it up here. I could charge those guys and do attacks. I think that's what I want to do, because I assume if the pariah were to run away, it'll be a rear zone of control attack, so they should be able to do some pretty good damage and hopefully destroy him. And then, assuming we destroy him next turn, maybe we can use the scarabs to take it back. Oh, I can't believe he left me as commander here. That's so big for us.
Heavy fire support.
Problem is, he's so close, it's going to be hard for me to strike him.
Progressing.
Maybe I bring you over here. Fire warriors. So I think you should have a pretty good chance to hit here. 60, okay. Nice, landed both of them. Okay, we'll corner there. And now one of you guys should just be able to run up here and get the kill.
Progressing.
Finish him.
Firing on top.
Nice. That was huge. Now I can run you up to capture that point. Now I'll get you your point back, because now you've got the increased movement. His other okay, he does have a second commander here. More fire warriors. He's got a breacher over here. Strike, breacher, breacher. Okay, so he does have a pretty decent force. Hopefully he's going to keep them blobbed up, and then I can drop some nukes on them. The orbs have a range of 4, so I can't quite reach him where he's at. So I think I got to let him advance for another turn. The battlesuit does have a flamer. So I assume he's going to have a third crisis suit over here somewhere too, potentially. I could bring these guys up and nuke those infantry there. I don't know if that really makes a lot of sense. Maybe I can get a shot off on the commander around the corner here. 49% chance to hit. Alright, one landed. Any damage to the commander I'm very happy with, because I just need to get rid of him. I could charge attack some of these guys, but then they're probably going to get suppressed. He's actually got decent forces coming over towards this right side here. So it may make sense for me just to kind of hunker down and make him come to me, because those Priarchs can take quite a bit of shots. If I do that, that'll barely allow me to drop an orb on those units here, so it would kill the strike squad and barely damage those other ones. So I don't think that's a good trade, so I think I gotta just wait another turn yet. Have them shoot into the commander, do some damage. Only 30, that's not great. I was expecting actually a lot more, I'm not gonna lie. Now the big thing is he can probably jump down with his commander and attack me. So I'm going to need to position these guys, and the crisis suits too, potentially. So we're going to need to position guys in a way where we don't get ourselves set up for being flamed. We'll set up the warriors here to try to act as fodder and stop the breachers from getting into one square away from our Locust Heavy destroyers. If I move you up, maybe we just start shooting into the strike squad here. Alright, good.
I have waited for this.
Let's move you back one.
Confirmed.
Breachers can move up. You've attacked, so let's move you down. I don't want to keep you there, because then that'll set them up for flaming twice through those guys. I can advance you to here. Shoot into here. Alright, good. They're down. I can advance you there. I can bring you down to there, but then again I'm setting this guy up for double flaming potentially. So I'm not super excited about that.
We are endless.
Plasmamancer's just kind of staying down there.
We serve the Triarch.
I think we pull you back so his crisis suit doesn't run over here and double flame us. Can set up a little overwatch.
Immortals awaiting command. Our duty.
I may regret moving those guys off of that, because if the pariah breaks through, he's going to capture that point back, which could be unfortunate. I could reinforce this left position here to see, and if I did, perhaps I could sneak up on him and drop another orb of destruction on him.
Heavy fire support.
Alright, commander's jumping down. You shot into him here. What the hell is he doing?
Taking fire.
Oh, I wonder if this is a newer player. This is twice now that he's done some questionable moves with this commander, and he's flaming at an angle so you can attack both of them, but what that effectively does is lower the amount of shots that are going on the first target there, because he should have easily been able to kill that full warrior squad here. Alright, running the crisis suits down to hold that position. That actually makes sense because they'll be hard for me to kill. Commander's retreating. Makes sense. Nice. Alright, he's using his grenade. Makes sense because that's going to lower their accuracy and now they're going to be blind. Pariah's moving up. He's launching another set of rockets. Unfortunately, none of those got obscured. Alright, he's reinforcing over that side. Oh, they missed a whole bunch of their attacks and did 21 damage from rear attacks. That is so stupid. Alright, so that pariah just captured that point back. Alright, at least you're attacking those those pathfinders here. Again, I was hoping you were gonna be doing a little more damage than that.
Judged one way.
Alright, 30 to 30. So I could charge in with these guys. Honestly, I think I can just come up here and drop a nuke on that commander here, and that should also allow me to do damage to the breachers and the strike team around them. Nice. Alright, good. Of course, now my path, this guy is out of position, so he's not going to be able to do it. So that's unfortunate.
The sound of our guns will herald their death.
If I run you up here, I think you can shoot the commander. Alright, one landed.
Heavy fire support. An endless march.
Actually, if I run the commander over here, that should give you the bonus to your movement. Then I can move you over to here. That should put the commander within range. And then I can nuke these guys again. Yep. Excellent. Alright. So he's got one guy left on both of those. I can move you up. 30% chance to hit. You just need to land one or two attacks. You miss. Alright, you're blind. Obviously I could kill those guys, but I don't know if I really need to be honest. I think I'd rather take out the breachers. If I bring you up here, that should increase the movement. You can outrange these guys.
Immortals awaiting command.
Alright, let's space you out again, because we don't want the crisis suit to flame us. Although I doubt he's going to move from that position, because he's going to want to pull down the strategic point to get the points. Pull you back.
Progressing.
We'll run you up to here. Alright.
require my counsel.
If I move you over to here, that can reinforce the right side.
Setting position.
I think I need to just focus down these crisis suits, though. 45% chance to hit. Alright, nice. That was actually decent damage.
Processing.
Alright.
Immortals awaiting command.
Can move you over to there. I could warp you into there to start doing attacks, but then you might get yourself killed.
Heavy fire support.
I could also summon some scarabs.
Our duty is tireless.
He's got the strike warriors here. So if I bring you behind him, should be able to do some charge attacks here. 100%. And I could move you down to here.
With authority.
And then if I got a flank attack against the other guy, I could definitely kill the pariah, but I think then the crisis suits would run in there and take the point from me. I could just summon scarabs and that could hold the point too, but he's got flamers, so he should be able to just take that from me. Let's run you back this way and rear attack these guys. Alright, good. So you've messed up those guys. I think we run down with our pariahs here and attack here. He's got 55 left.
Immortals awaiting command.
Let's pull you back one to be in partial cover. I could drop scarabs on these guys. That would really mess up his center. Honestly, I think we should just body block. We can come up here, shoot into here, and then body block there.
The sound of our guns will herald their death.
Actually, I wonder if I drop scarabs over here, because he should be able to get some rear attacks. I bet I could probably. Or I could kill the Pathfinder and then kill the Ethereal. Or I could just drop him here. I think I want to actually come over here and kill the Ethereal, because that would stop him from buffing all of his units. And I think the Ethereal is his commander. So let's run you down here. Capture that.
Our duty is tireless.
I can run you behind here. Capture that point. And then attack the Ethereal. Not going to get a kill, but we're going to definitely mess them down. For some reason, it seems like the audio isn't syncing great. It feels like it's like a half a second off for some reason. I've never had this happen before on a recording. Kind of strange. Let's phase shift. That way he doesn't get himself sniped down, so we can keep summoning more scarabs. And then, because I'm suspicious this might be a newer player, I'm going to run the Immortal to just face check the crisis suits here. And I think that should encourage him to waste his flame attacks on those guys and focus down those Immortals, which would then keep a lot of my other forces safe. Oh, and I forgot I had another Scarab Swarm here. So let's run you over here and then see how much damage you do with the rear attack. Enough to get the kill, so let's run you out before it explodes and damages those Triarchs. And then you can definitely stay over here to body block this area. So now I've ninja capped that from out underneath him here. And because I've killed 2 of his commanders before the ethereal's on there, he should have nowhere near enough command points to summon a crisis suit to get behind me. Now, I feel like I should move these guys to try to lock down the pariah. Now, the last time I did this, didn't exactly work out great, but I feel like we should at least attempt it. If nothing else, we might encourage the crisis suit to come after me here. Alright, so he's using his ethereal to do some attacks here, trying to clear out those scares, but they don't have enough splash to do that. He's moving them a little bit, trying to protect his rear most likely. Alright, using the strike squad there, he finished them off, so now he's going to capture that point back. Makes sense. Not sure why he quite moved. As expected, the crisis suits flamed my immortals. I mean, it is the right decision. It allows him to just kind of tank things, but it also makes sure he doesn't try to flame my guys that are all batched together. Alright, that's probably gonna kill these guys off. Yep, so he's focusing down those triarchs, but they keep resurrecting, thankfully. And shooting into there.
Hostile detected.
Alright. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the audio here. It's like a couple seconds out of sync here. Alright, let's charge attack the ethereal.
They test my resolve.
And I should be able to finish him off with these guys. Definitely willing to make that trade, and that will allow me to also lock down this strategic point. And I can start shifting these guys over there. I can also move in with my scarabs here to start taking out some of these guys. Unfortunately, my plasma mancer, I would have to waste an attack to get over there. I can run you to here. And I think that should allow me to attack the pariah. I can't say the word here for some reason. Alright, so that's dead. So let's move you before it blows up. You can try to lock down these crisis suits. So at this point in time, I just need the points. If I run you around the back, that's going to take up all of your movement.
Immortals awaiting command.
Let's attack here, try to get that model kill, which you successfully do. I think I want to have you flank the breachers, although my plasma mancer could also do that potentially.
Setting position.
Let's try to bring you up. Let's see, 59, 80, excellent. Only landed one of the attacks, unfortunately. Could have the plasma mancer come here, or I could just have him come up this way.
The enemy has engaged.
Alright, good. Attack again.
Firing on top. Progressing.
Alright, he killed the crisis suit. Now I can capture that point out from underneath him here. Now I've got every point under my control. So therefore I'm going to use the Overlord to start taking down these breachers, because they're one of the few units that can actually do quite a bit of damage to me. Shoot into here. I guess we'll get the kill there. It was kind of a waste. I was kind of debating whether I wanted to do that attack or summon scarabs, but I don't think I really need to summon more scarabs, to be honest.
Heavy fire support.
And because he's got nobody to be able to stealth cap, I think I can just advance with all these units to try to table him. because there's no advantage anymore to dragging out the match since the points cap out at 80, so you don't get extra. You can't potentially game the system to get, you know, because if you, let's say I had 5 of these points captured and I had 75 points on the last turn, if I then got another 25, it would move me up to, what did I say, 75, so it would be 100 points or something like that. Whereas now it's just capped out at 80, because what was happening is if players would quit, it would just give you the full 80 points, and therefore it would penalize players who had opponents that rage quit, and then it also encouraged players to send messages to their opponents like, hey, can you not quit and just let me drag this out a little bit so I can get some bonus points at the end. So now there'll probably be some ties and things for first place, and there'll just be a bunch of people that have won every match. Potentially will all be ranked tied for number 1, but I would prefer something like that, or ideally that they have a tournament match where then all the people that are at the rank 1 then have a second round where they could fight each other and see who wins their matches to create it. But then again, I think that would create quite a bit of extra programming, or you can just leave it that they're all tied and everybody just won their matches. That's fine too. So, but I definitely prefer it this way than the old way where you'd have issues, especially if there was errors, because occasionally the game was not calculating the strategic command points correctly. Like if you watch the first tournament, you'll see that some of my matches didn't have the right scores, so it kind of screwed me over a little bit. But as you can see here, we locked everybody down, so everything worked out pretty well for us. We had a pretty overwhelming victory against our opponent. I apologize again for the audio. Hopefully this isn't a recurrent thing. This is the first time I've had it where the audio didn't sync up towards the end of the match. I'm not quite sure what happened there, because it seemed like the audio was working fine at the beginning of the match. But definitely, like I said, Necron versus Tau. The Necron is definitely a very viable faction against the Tau. And then I was unaware of it at the time, but with the recent round of changes, they nerfed a lot of the Tau forces. And so now the Breachers can't spam marker lights, photon grenades, and attacks anymore, which is fantastic. And then the other thing I was unaware of is the stealth suits can't stealth on their same turn anymore, because that counts as an action point. And the photon grenades also count as an action point, so you can't spam all those things on top of each other anymore. So unfortunately I discovered that on the next round, which you'll see shortly on the next multiplayer matchup day when I show our next match here. But definitely was highly effective for us. The Plasmomancers, obviously, as you can see, can pay major dividends for you, especially against a Tau player that uses a heavy infantry build, because you can then just launch that Orb of Destruction, have that AoE attack, and usually it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it's guaranteed to hit. And it doesn't do a lot of damage to a lot of other factions because it doesn't have great armor piercing except on the unit it attacks originally. But because the Tau have such low armor on their infantry to begin with, and they go more with an evasion bonus HP, you can usually use all that splash damage to wipe units out. So as you saw, I was able to drop that several times, that nuke several times on the commander, and I was able to drop both a Breacher and, I don't remember if it was a Strike Squad or a Pathfinder. I think it was a Pathfinder, or Strike Squad. Fire Warriors, I think is what they're called, not a Strike Squad, down to just one model each. So that definitely helped neuter that. And if they have a bunch of Breachers together, you definitely want to drop it on those guys. And then it can also do damage to Crisis Suits too, as long as you drop the main attack on there. And the big thing with the Plasmomancers too is if they end up getting the ability to overcharge an ability when they get all their momentum up, you can then use it again, even though you're technically out of ammo, and then it has way more armor piercing. So I don't know if that's quite as intended, but if you watch my units tip selection, you can see how you can end up spamming the Orb of Destruction to just devastating effect. And then the Plasmomancers do amazing damage in melee, so assuming they survive, they can easily kill the Crisis Suits, Stealth Suits, things like that you normally have some trouble getting through. And then even if there's weak infantry, they can obviously kill those guys too. If they're almost dead and you're scared that they're going to get sniped, then you can use their ranged attack because it does have some splash damage as well, but definitely melee is where it's at for the Plasmamancers. So you just gotta make sure you keep them alive, because 250 points is a lot. You know, it's over 10% of your unit forces on a 2,000 point match are going to that one unit. So what you don't want is to put them in a vulnerable position trying to line up an attack and then it gets sniped out by Pathfinders, because that would be who would most likely get the kill. So the opponent here, I think, like I said, is probably a newer player, just looking at some of the plays he's doing with this commander. So my recommendations for him, you know, you can't use your commander like that. If you want to have jump troops to run in there, you need to either use your stealth suits, because they also have the shield drones to give you damage reduction, so you could do to tank those shots, and then put them on stealth, so then I have to move into the zone of control and get attacked with your reaction fire before I can take that point back. So I'd recommend that. But the whole point of your commander is to do lots of damage with your flamethrower, or to just passively boost your other units' ranged accuracy and ranged damage. So you need to keep that guy alive. And then the one that's your commander, you even more need to keep him alive, because you need to stack up those strategic points, because the Tau have great strategic command point abilities. You know, you can drop the missiles, which do good damage against single targets or with minimal splash damage, so they can be used against regular infantry, but that's not really how they're meant to be done. You can summon crisis suits to get backdoor capping and then launch missiles against my units. Or if you saved up to level the 3rd tier, it has this crazy beam attack that does a shit ton of damage. So but most players are going to spam out either their tier 1, tier 2 abilities before the tier 3, because by the time you get tier 3, unless you're really having a lot of casualties, it's probably going to be late in the game and you're going to get more benefit out of those other things. Pathfinders, I think you would have had much better time getting through my units had you done the Pathfinders. You did like a partial commitment to the Crisis Suit build and you got the Flamers. So they can work great for you, especially on this map where there's a lot of area that can block line of sight, but you want to use your commanders to increase their ranged accuracy and damage of their missile launcher attacks then. And then once you run out of missiles, because you want to spam those every turn, then if you're going to have the Flamer build, you want to run and get them and use them kind of like how you're using your commander. You kind of have those units confused with each other, because you don't care. Well, I shouldn't say you shouldn't care, but you should have gotten enough point value by using your missile launchers every turn and getting out significant enough damage either to allow your other infantry to finish up and mop up the units, or to get kills themselves, that then by the later part of the game you don't care if they die, getting in there to use the flame attacks, because you're again using them just to weaken down the infantry to try to kill models, and then to trigger that reanimation protocol so the rest of your infantry, when they get attacks, can do it. The Fire Warriors, if you give them their armor piercing weapons, then they can do damage to pretty much all of my infantry, but if you give them like their pulse carbine, then they can't really do shit against most of the Necron forces, so you never want to do that. And then the Pathfinders, obviously all their armor piercing and with their bonuses, the marker lights, all those things, it should allow you to more regularly get kills on my units. You know, the Pariahs can work very well. The Fusion Blaster will definitely allow you to kill at least one model, or if I had, you know, heroes, you can use them to snipe, hold down the point. But on a strategic command point, I typically don't recommend the Fusion Blaster unless you know you're going to be fighting some sort of heavily armored, low model count squad, because you, like I said, if you had that one Pariah there, it's going to take you a minimum of 5 turns to kill all of my Triarch Praetorians, and in each one of those turns they're hitting you with their melee weapons, chopping through you, and then you have nothing to follow it up with. So you got to be very careful about that. Now, you did have the Pathfinders there before, so hopefully that helps you. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.